In this video, we're going to start multiplying some basic expressions involving I. So we have two practice problems here. Let's look at our first problem. We have 6i squared. So the biggest thing to remember is that when we square a number, when we raise it to the second power, what it is telling us to do is multiply whatever is being squared, especially if it's inside parentheses, by itself. So I'm going to multiply 6i times 6i. And again, we can treat the I, in this case, like a variable until it gets raised to a power. So we are going to start by thinking, okay, 6 times 6, that's 36. I times I is I to the second power. Now, this is where I'm going to do one more piece of simplification, remembering that I to the second power is actually equal to -1 because I is the square root of -1. So the square root of -1 squared is going to be -1. Therefore, I can replace I squared with -1. And if I'm multiplying 36 times -1, I'm going to get -36. So the final answer, simplified form of what is 6i to the second power, that is -36. Now let's look at our second practice problem here. We have 3i minus 8, 3i times -8i. So you can hear I almost made the mistake of thinking it's a subtraction just because I saw a negative, but no, make sure we're aware of the fact that we have two sets of parentheses. That's telling me that they're multiplying, so I'm going to again jump straight into the multiplication of multiplying our coefficients and then multiplying our quote-unquote variables. The I isn't truly a variable, but we can treat it as a variable again until it has a power. So 3 times -8 is going to be -24, and I times I is going to be I squared. I remember that I can replace I squared with -1. So we can see, all right, I got -1, -24 times -1, that's going to be 24. So we can see that whenever we have I squared as a multiplier, it is just going to change the sign of whatever's already there because I squared is equal to -1. So the simplification of 3i times -8i is +24.